Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca. I hope you all have had a wonderful holiday season, and I hope you all are taking this time to truly embrace the restful energy, the recuperation energy, this amazing time to be able to spend with your loved ones and soak up all of that love. And I'm just wanting to send all my love your way as we move into this next week, which is a very exciting week and full of beauty, full of release, full of this balancing energy that's coming in for us right before 2026. And it's exciting because as we move into 2026, this new energy comes in, this new numerology comes into play, and it's very exciting to see what is coming through for us this week. So can't wait to share it. Before I dive in, I just want to apologize for any background noise. I got a little kitten, so he is quite rambunctious right now. So I'm hoping that once I start this reading, he's going to calm down and relax a little bit. But if you do hear any zoomies in the background or little meows in the background, I apologize, but hopefully you'll think it's as cute as I do. All right, so let's dive in. So this week we have a lot around nervous system resetting. We have a lot around coming to release whatever we are feeling come up for us to wrap up for 2025. And you know, a lot of times we think of that because we're moving into a new year. A lot of us are setting intentions. A lot of us are kind of getting excited of like, what is next for me? But this week is really beautiful because it's also a week of clearing and energetic resetting. So as we move forward to this new year, it's important to pace ourselves, is what I'm kind of hearing, is like before we just jump right in and dive right into what's next, to take the time to slow down and be very present this week to further direction, to intuitive downloads, and also bringing very strong awareness to the energies that we're currently enveloping and currently projecting. So we can give ourselves this really good setup for the fresh year. So let's dive into what channeled. So nervous system reset, a flood of emotion, ready for feeling, peace and joy, and fear of sabotaging both. You're coming into a new entry point. Come to terms with yourself, the good and the bad. Recognition is key. When you give yourself permission to be it all parts of you can come to the light. So we'll pause there. So once again, we're getting this amazing awareness of where is our nervous system currently. You know, we've had a lot going on. It's been Christmas. Maybe we've had a lot of different activities. Maybe we've just been in that fight or flight response just with the busyness of that season. And so they're going, okay, it's time to reset. It's time to come back to yourself, time to regroup. So have that little check-in with yourself this week. Where am I feeling worried or fearful, or where am I feeling pent up energy, and where am I being called to let it go? And once again, we were learning a lot about our emotions and how to work with our emotions. So that being said, it's very important that we are present and that we allow ourselves to be for a while. So if you've been struggling to relax, if you've been struggling to be in peace, to really allow yourself to be in the moment, this is that outcry to do so. So that's what's really interesting, is once we allow ourselves this reset, we start taking in the beauty of life, because we're too busy before. We were too stuck in our fight or flight. And they're really showing me how when we do that, we can't soak up all of the goodness. So balancing yourself first is vital. Allowing yourself to come back to the present is going to really help you tap back into this peace and joy. because they're really showing me that this fight or flight is bringing in fear and worry about sabotaging the goodness. So if you've noticed that, if you've noticed, hey, I'm excited, I'm feeling good for this next year, I'm feeling the peace, I'm feeling the love, I'm feeling the joy, but it's like all of a sudden this invasive thought comes in, or all of a sudden the ego comes in to try to protect you, and you're starting to notice, whoa, okay, maybe there is a little bit of this nervous system amp up that is happening, that is wanting you to stay safe, to stay protected. So just take notice of that this week, of where the ego might try to sabotage the good stuff, the present moment, to relax, to have joy, because they're really showing me this happen. It's like every time you go to relax, or every time you go to slow down, you can't, because you're overstimulated, or you're having fears, or you're not sleeping. And it's like, why am I worried about this? So check in with the physical body this week, check in with the mental health this week, and just notice where you need to give yourself permission to let go and to calm yourself. So finding outlets that help you do that. So finding the peace, finding the joy, being in the present moment is key. So this was interesting because they're kind of showing me this new entry point. Come to terms with yourself, the good and the bad. Recognition is key. When you give yourself permission to be it all parts of you can come to the light. So this was beautiful because once again, they're kind of showing me this self-sabotage happening, where it's like, really coming in there, and maybe you're having these intrusive thoughts, maybe you're having these things come in where it's like, oh my gosh, I should be doing this, but I'm not going to because I'm scared. They're also showing me that scenario of us worrying unnecessarily over things that haven't happened yet, or things we want to bring into our future as we think of that, right? So they're kind of showing me like, bring all parts of you to the surface and don't avoid them. So they're kind of showing me this boldness coming in, because it's like, okay, I'm going to allow these parts of me that are afraid to come to the light too, and embrace them and feel them and go, okay, it's okay that I'm afraid right now. It is okay that I have this fear right now. It is okay for me to have this thought right now, and just be in it and not reject it or run away from it or avoid it. And so they're just showing me this emotional maturity that's been developed and is developing this week as we move forward, because a lot of times when we receive our dreams, or we move into a new energy, the old dense energy is going to have to leave. And that's what they're kind of showing me, is it is leaving, but we need to recognize it. We need to feel those feelings and take this mature approach of reparenting ourselves. So we talked a lot about that last week, of recognition of the inner child and how that child is feeling. So similarly, apply that method this week as well to, what am I feeling? How can I be in it? How can I see that it's coming forward for me to comfort, to hold, to then release? So it's really beautiful, this harmonization that's starting to happen with this approach. And that's what they're really saying, like this new entry point. And when they said that, it was almost like a door opening, where it's like, oh, I'm finding a new door to my dreams. I'm finding a new way, a new entry point to bliss and peace. And you're allowing yourself to just open that door and walk through, as opposed to constantly battling. And that's what they're showing me, is we've had this battle between the head and the heart, and the ego and the soul. And now we're learning not to fight it anymore. We're allowing it to be present. We're allowing the ego to be there. We're allowing the fear to be there. And we're not fighting it anymore. We're not battling it. There's no conflict anymore. And this is the key to creating this inner harmony, is we're no longer dismissing parts of us as good or bad, right? This black and white approach. We're going, all parts of me are acceptable. All parts of me deserve to come to the light. And once again, this inner recognition is what is key and is what is going to serve you so well as you move forward into your next endeavors. So this is what's wrapping up as this beautiful progression of maturity. And we're starting to recognize how much we have grown, even in our approach to ourselves, our lives, and as we move forward. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So from there, we have serendipitous movement. It's all coming together for you. You're moving on. Case and point. So this was amazing because once again, this harmony brings like these beautiful synergistic events, this serendipitous feeling. And when I think of the word serendipitous, it's like, oh my gosh, what a happy surprise. Like, whoa, look how this all aligned. And wow, isn't this just incredible how it all just came together like that? Easy, playful, fun. Like that's the energy I feel. So that's what they're showing me is like, oh my gosh, all these things can come to alignment without force, without constant struggle and strive. And it's amazing. We're so joyful. We're playful with the energies now, which is incredible. It's helping us really move forward with confidence because now we see I don't have to achieve my goals through struggle and strive. I can approach everything in my life through the power of love, through the power of joy, even my emotions. I don't have to fear anymore. I don't have to villainize anymore because everything is acceptable. And it's so amazing, this ease and grace that's happening. So when they said case in point, it was very much like, see the proof in the pudding, okay? Look at how your life has changed because many of us have gone through this glow up. Many of us have let go of these cycles and these obsessions because they're kind of showing me an obsession here of like perhaps worry and fear-based thoughts, actions, etc. We're not in that space anymore. So we're making different choices. We're making different things happen and come to fruition because of this new approach, this new energy. So from there, we have laughter is medicine. And this was so cool. So once again, it's like promoting this excitement, this fun, playful energy. And we're realizing the importance of that, how vital that energy is in our lives because it makes all the difference when we approach things through the playful energy, how things can heal, how laughter and play can be a medicine to ourselves and to our lives. And once again, they're kind of showing me this adding of fun and goodness to your life has just expedited your experience. So they're kind of giving me this example of myself. I just got a little kitten and how much that has added to my experience of love, to my experience of play and fun, and how it has really made it more of a priority than before, and how this has helped me come out of my shell of seriousness into this more playful spirit. So they're kind of using that as an example. And it's really beautiful because we're taking this new approach. It's almost like this inner rebel in us is like, see? And that's what's hilarious is like, they're also drawing attention to the inner rebel here because so many of us have been taught the opposite. You only get to enjoy when you've reached this goal or when you're at this point in your life, when you're married, when you have children, when you have this job, when you have this in order. Like now we're shoving all of that programming out the window and we're like, no, I deserve joy now. I deserve to have a good life and experience right now. And this inner rebel is singing because it's like, yeah, I told you so. And it's amazing because we're finally recognizing these parts of ourselves that knew differently. Like they're kind of showing the soul that was so restless and full of angst and anger because it had to go the path everyone else was going. And when you woke up and honored that voice, that inner soul, that inner cry, it changed everything for you, because you're like, no, I want to go my own path. I'm going to go my own path, and it's possible. So you have forged a completely new life, and it's been birthed from this rebel within. And as I say this, emotions come in the heart. Like, they're showing me the heart just aching, because it's like, I knew it. I knew it all along. This was the right way. This is what resonated for me. And it's so beautiful. So don't be surprised that you have some of these wake-up calls this week to gratitude, to awareness of how far you've really come, because you've embraced this side of yourself that needed that validation and recognition now. So it's so beautiful. Everything's coming together, and it's amazing. So they're kind of showing me things that are going to be birthed from this space. So a lot of us are going to be, once more, carving a very unique path. So if you've noticed, they're kind of showing me, like, survey your life. Notice the things that have taken place in your life. Notice the jobs you've done. Notice the people you've met. If you were to go, every little thing, every little experience I had was a detail of note, what would that all be adding up to? And they're kind of showing me themes, okay? So different themes in your life. What have been those dominating themes in your life? Dreams that you've had, ambitions. And they're kind of showing me this bag, and you've been collecting items and putting it in the bag as you move through your experience. So it's like, this is the treasure I'm going to take with me from here. This is what I learned from there. This is what I've needed to grow here. And they're just showing me the bag getting full and full and full, to the point of almost overwhelmed, because you're like, whoa, I've learned so much. Look at all these treasures. And you're finally noticing, my bag is full of treasure. My bag is full. It's overflowing. And they're kind of showing me like it's about to overflow. So maybe you've started to recognize this. You're like, wow, I feel like there's, what's interesting, one more thing. There's just one more thing that's going to complete this bag, that's going to fill the bag to the brim. And it's funny, because that is self-love. And that is what you are now giving to yourself, is you are putting in that gift in that bag. So they're showing me that this is the final piece. This is what you've been waiting for. This is what you've been building up to learning, is how to truly have it all. And how you have it all is through this emotional fulfillment. Okay? And it's incredible, because it seems so simple. And they're like, yeah, it is. Like, it's that simple. When you are emotionally fulfilled, everything falls into place. There's no more striving. There's no more chasing. And they're really highlighting this as being important as you make new intentions. And we're all doing that as we move forward into this next year. What are we bringing in, right? That's the focus. That's a theme. So right now, ruminate on that and go, okay, I might want this or want that, but how do I become self-fulfilled now? And that's the key, because as we've explained over and over again in these updates, is the vibration you're in is the vibration you're going to attract and build. So really be mindful. I'm not chasing a new goal. I'm not chasing a new desire. I'm attracting it. I am it. I'm embodying this energy, and that is how it multiplies. So this year, be more mindful as to the emotion and the fulfillment you want to experience, and start giving it to yourself now. So if you want more fun, more play, then be in that energy of more fun and more play. If you want more harmony, more balance, then be in those energies of harmony and balance. Like, it's that simple, and embody it. And this is what's going to bring that multitude of blessings in your life. And any challenge that comes your way, tell yourself, literally make a commitment that whatever this challenge is, it's going to be completed with ease and grace. Okay? And make that like a focal point, because they're like, stress no more. Okay? Worry no more. All of this is going to resolve with ease and grace. And literally tell yourself that. Yes, there's going to be fear that might come up. Yes, the ego is going to come up and might speak very loud, but we have to have the courage to speak back. And this is where the courage comes in. Have the courage to face your fear, not to fight it, to accept it and send it on its way. So there's a big difference here from avoiding to acknowledging, to giving yourself what you need in that stressed moment, and then moving forward with grace and going, I'm strong enough to go through anything that comes my way. And I'm going to do it with the approach of unconditional love for myself, unconditional kindness, compassion, grace. Okay, this is key. So even as you approach your new goals, as you approach new challenges, set the intention of how you're going to approach them, the energy you're going to have as you complete them. Because they're kind of showing me once again, even how we complete projects matters. Are you rushing, striving, doing, pushing, or are you enjoying the ride? Are you enjoying the journey? And each of us have a choice of, as we approach everything. We can be stressed and overwhelmed. We can take on the to-do list and go, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be checked off. And we can be in that headspace. We can be scattered. We can do it all. But do you want to? Okay? So as we move forward to this next chapter, be very mindful to check in with the energy in which you create it. That is what's key. And many people skip that vital step. How do I want to usher in this new chapter? Don't just dive right in. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time. Give yourself the ease. Give yourself the pleasure. How can I make this the most enjoyable experience? That is how you craft a fulfilling life, right? Not later in the process. So this is what's so beautiful, because they're showing me as we carve this very unique, authentic path, this is showing others the way. So they're kind of showing me other people looking at you and going, wow, that's really refreshing, because all we see now is the hustle culture. You got to work hard. You got to do this. That's how you achieve success. But nobody asks, are you happy? Are you happy while you're achieving the success? Are you happy along the journey? Are you happy now? Are you satisfied now that you've completed the goal? That's the question we need to be asking. And as you adopt this mindset, so you help others too. Because nobody is really asking that question. Right? When was the last time someone asked you, are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Try that. Try asking others that. Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? How are you feeling about your life? You might be amazed at people's responses and how they respond to such a question. Many people will be caught off guard because when was the last time you were asked that? So we have to be mindful of this week, of the reality we are creating and the side effects to our responses, because once again, this is empowering for others to see there's a different way. There is a way to go through life in such an ease and grace. It's going to shock people. And maybe they're meant to be shocked. So it's amazing. So guiding the way so others may learn too. Quiet resurgence. It doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to take off right away. Focused intention on those who need it most. Sharing is caring. Sharing yourself with the world emboldens others to do the same. So let's talk about this. This is so beautiful because once again, as we become very fulfilled, we wake up to this desire to expand our heart, our love. Okay, this is what happens when we're overflowing with goodness and overflowing with love. What happens? We want to share it. It's spilling over. It's going out. It's finding where it needs to go. So they're kind of showing me with this cup overflowing with love, that love is seeking outlets, okay, of where it needs to go, how it can help others. And it's so beautiful because think about it. When you're fully charged, when you are full and overflowing with love, you have the capacity to give. So this is once more so beautiful because as you fill your cup, so you can fill the cups of others without draining yourself. And it's so funny because they're kind of showing me throughout the journey, many of us going about this the opposite way, where it's like your cup was always half empty. Maybe it was totally empty, but yet you were giving. And it was like, what about me? And then there was the resent, and then there was the anger, and then there was, what the heck, my needs don't matter, and the devastation of that from all that giving and all the people taking. And now it's the opposite because you've learned how to fulfill yourself, to fill that cup to overflow. Now you have the capacity to give and you want to. So this week we're going to open up to light working abilities. Okay, this is what just popped in my head. Light working abilities. So what are your abilities? What are your capabilities? What gifts have you been given? Which ones are calling your name right now? Because they're kind of showing me literally like, hello, over here, pay attention to me, come this way. So we're going to feel that call. And it's important that we listen to it. So wherever you're feeling called to help, called to give, and they're just saying, like, remember, giving doesn't mean self-sacrifice. So once again, the ego might come in this week a little bit and want to sabotage us a little bit. And we have to, once again, have allowance of that and go, okay, that was my old way. What's my new one? And they're kind of showing me the balance, the boundaries we might have to have. So yes, you want to help someone, but be careful not to go down that slippery slope of overgiving again. You've been down that road before, so let's not go down there again. So they're just saying help, but make sure to maintain your boundaries, okay? And this is what's beautiful is this allows us to realize that that is enough, okay? However you help, that is enough, and making it enough. So many of us go, oh, well, I should do more. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. Maybe I can do this, and this. And they're like, or you could just do that and let that be enough, right? So once again, we're new way, new path, new choices, balance, harmony, because you're considering yourself too. You're considering your needs too. You realize how you matter too. So, so important. So the other aspect to this is the way we help and realizing that it doesn't need to take off right away. This was interesting. So many of us are going to get enlightenment to something we want to create. And sometimes we get these downloads and we're so excited. This is going to help so many people when I do this. Light workers, we have that fierce desire to help people. So we're like, oh my gosh, this is what people need. And how can I help them? How can I get it out there? And we do all the things. And then we get disappointed because we're like, well, how come it's not taking off? How come it's not shooting off like it should? Because it's so wonderful. And they're kind of showing me it doesn't need to. So a lot of us have this need for instant gratification and we compare our journeys to so many others, especially what we see online, because what we see online is sometimes these videos that are like, oh yeah, I got this many clients just by doing this. And so when we get that promised, we think, well, that person did it, so I should be able to do it. It should become quick. It should be this, it should be that. But once again, we're realizing life doesn't go to a formula. Sure, that worked for one person, but maybe that's not your journey. Maybe that's not how you're supposed to find your people and your clients. And they're just showing me this scenario. So whatever scenario works in this situation for you, whatever project you're doing, whatever dream you have, realize that it can be enough right where it is. So even if you have only one client or two, how can that be enough? How can you make that so fantastic, so wonderful, that that brings you fulfillment, that it's not in the numbers? Your worth and happiness should not be measured by the numbers. Because they're kind of showing me this disappointment where it's like, I've given so much and I just wish people could be there to receive it. Because I have so much love to give. I want to give it to everyone. But they're like, maybe you're not meant to. And maybe you are, but maybe not at this moment. Maybe there's still things you need to learn on the journey. Maybe things need to take as long as they take. Maybe you're supposed to learn the ease and grace, right? Because think of it, if you received all the things now, would that really be fulfilling? Or would that overwhelm you? So that's the other thing. They're kind of showing me like rejection is protection. So if things aren't taking off immediately, take that as a protection for yourself. You want a life of ease, of grace. Maybe this whole fame that you're looking for, or this, whatever this is, maybe that's not what's actually going to be fulfilling, right? So why can't your acts of kindness, your goodness, your love be enough right where it is? So acknowledging that. And they're showing me the more we become enough, the more we say it's enough, the more we realize our love is enough, it becomes enough. Hope this is making sense. But it's like, once again, when we constantly go, this isn't good enough, I'm not helping enough, I'm not doing enough, what vibration does that put you in? So imagine if you're like, I'm working on deservingness, I'm working on self-love. Well, you have to be very careful of where you're still saying you're undeserving and you're still saying I'm not enough, even in these areas that we don't necessarily think of right away. So look at your life this week and go, where do I need to say it's enough? Where do I need to believe it's enough? Where do I need to continually reaffirm and reprogram my mind, my ego, my soul, my perspective to everything is enough? And they're saying how this even applies to money, where we're constantly going, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. Where can you be like, this is enough. I am fulfilled. I am wealthy. I am rich. I am loved. I'm overflowing with goodness, overflowing with what I deserve. See how that even transcends to your bank account? Because they're kind of showing me the blessings just pouring in, and you don't even have to lift a finger because you're in the vibration of receiving, of wealth, of abundance right where you are. So don't chase abundance anymore. Don't chase money anymore. Don't chase the next thing. Be it. And watch as things shift. And as you give, this balance is restored. So they're like, you're learning to receive and give in balance, which is healing the heart. The heart is pivotal. And it's really showing this past year or more, I feel like the heart has been a pivotal focal point of healing for a lot of us. That specific chakra, heart chakra, is what we've really needed to focus in, and it's amazing. So sharing yourself with the world emboldens others to do the same. So once again, in this new vibration, you're going to surprise a lot of people, shock a lot of people by your approach, okay? So once again, you're like, I'm fulfilled, I am love, I am happy, I'm peaceful, and you just give in your balance, you respect your boundaries. Like, people are going to be in awe of you, like, what? How do they do it? This is amazing. And this helps embolden others to do the same. Okay, so sharing yourself, sharing what works for you, sharing your heart, sharing your love, it emboldens others to be brave and do the same. And this is what was so funny. The next thing that channel was too blessed to be stressed. Seeing little steps are enough. Filling your cup is enough. Okay, then they kind of showed me this like wrinkle in time, like this fold in time, where it was like this little wrinkle in your experience is meant for you, almost like it was supposed to happen to reset you before you go right back onto your path. And that's what they were showing me, was literally this energy was flowing straight, and then it wrinkled out and then goes back to the straight and narrow. And they're showing me this wrinkle was needed. So this detour of energy, right? So you could be fully restored before you went back on track. So they're kind of showing me some people have been, maybe even felt blindsided. That's the word that just popped in, by their journey this past maybe year or the past few years, where it's like, I was so certain before of what I was supposed to do, and now I have no idea. I was blindsided by these events. These crazy things happened, blew me off course. I had no idea what I was doing, no idea of what's next. I've lost my purpose. But they're like, that was that wrinkle, okay? And that was very, very intentional for you. That detour was needed for you to re-find yourself, to recommit yourself, but also bring in this lesson of ease and grace, of what's really important before you get back on track, because this energy that you had, this goal that you had, it's coming, okay? And that makes me emotional, because some of us felt when we took this detour that our dreams were lost to us. And maybe that was the journey. We were striving so hard, working so hard to achieve these dreams, and it felt like the dangling carrot. And then this detour happened that made us think all of that was lost, none of it was going to come in, and boom, now that you've learned what you've needed to learn, you're getting right back on that same path. And everything you have been dreaming for, hoping for, needing in your life is flowing in now. And it's beautiful. It's so stunning. And you're like, wow, I see why this had to happen. This detour had to happen. So clarity seeks a source. Abundance chasing is over. Inner recognition is now the key. Emergence of needs and how to meet them. How to become self-full. A quiet delay. Divine timing is at work. Notice to what you're being called to and focus on that now. Okay, so this once again is reaffirming this awareness. Abundance chasing, it's done. It's over. Now you're learning how to become self-fulfilled, and you're meeting your own needs. Okay, so as needs emerge, you are learning to immediately meet them. And once again, remember, your dreams are unmet needs. So whenever that really strong call to have something or want something, you need to give yourself that feeling, right? So the quiet delay. Now this was interesting. So we might be delayed the next little bit when it comes to these dreams, when it comes to these ambitions. And they're like, trust it. Trust the delay. Trust this is the time to be honoring yourself, honoring your needs, taking this rest and respite that you might need to recuperate as we move into next year. And trust that the divine timing is at work. So there's no rush here. And just keep reminding yourself, there's no rush for me to get to my dreams. There's no rush for this next chapter. I'm going to flow with it. Okay? and just bring awareness to what is calling you right now. So even if your dream right now, you're like, you know what, I'm just not feeling called to do this right now, trust that, okay? It's not the time. So don't force your projects right now. Don't force yourself to do things if you're like, I just kind of want to hang out. I just kind of need to rest. Do that, okay? This is that quiet delay. It's needed. So anytime that comes up, recognize the need for it. If you're like, I'm just not feeling it, then you're just not feeling it. Don't force yourself. Listen to your needs. Listen to that call and what's happening. And maybe you're being called to do something else right now. And you're like, but I really want to focus on my dream, but I'm being called to do this. Then you're being called to do that. Can you just listen? Right? Give yourself permission to flow. And that's what's so beautiful is what's next. Allowance of the ebb and flow. Practicing your skills. Now, this was interesting. So they're kind of showing me this awareness of we then begin practicing the energy work and the self-fulfillment and the self-love, and then applying that to everything we're doing. So that's where we're practicing this new skill, because self-love is a skill. We've had to teach ourselves how to do it. And that's what's so cool. So then we're getting clear direction on how we see this through. So what's interesting is I heard in the name of the law. So maybe there's going to be some legalities that we have to look into to bring in what we want to bring in. So maybe you're thinking of starting your own practice. Maybe you're thinking of, I don't know, whatever you want to do. You've got to look into sometimes those practical things. Well, do I need a business license? Do I need a GST number? Do I need this? Do I need that? And they're just kind of showing me the little technicalities that we're starting to look at. So everything can be, once again, balanced and harmonized. So they're showing me we're getting clear direction then of how we bring this to the light. So maybe we've had this spiritual download. Maybe we've had this awareness of the dream and what we want, but now it's time to look into those earthly details as well. So that might come in this week of how do I see this dream through? And it's beautiful because then they said a full circle moment, allowance of what is, and recognition that your primary source is God. So maybe you're going to look into the legalities and go, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. There's so much I need to do to make this happen. I don't know what to do. I'm not an expert at this. Maybe we're going to have that little stress. How do I make this work? The how can stress us out. But then we have this full circle moment. Oh, God is my source. So isn't this beautiful that this channel, because it's like some of you are going to get this worry and they're like, don't worry. You got to hear this week. We got you. God is your source. Don't worry. Okay? Don't freak out. Everything's coming full circle. And then this brings awareness to the motive behind our dreams. And it was beautiful because when we look at the dream and we go deeper to the root, we see, okay, why do I really have this dream? And once again, it's that unmet need that comes to our attention. But two are coming to the surface this week, which was to help people and to be self-fulfilled. And so if that's the case, do those things. So once again, they're helping us attain the dream by practicing it now. So if you're like, I really want to bring this to light to help people, well, where are you not meeting the need in yourself to give, to help, to be there for others? And how can you meet that need even in different areas while the dream builds? And if you're like, oh my gosh, I need this to be fulfilled in myself, well, where are you not fulfilled now? And how can you become self-fulfilled even without the dream being here yet? And once again, this mastery comes in. So do those things. Hold all that you do bare and in value. So this was interesting because once again, it's like when they said hold it bare, it's like everything is clear. You're getting the clarity of every aspect of this by going deeper to the root cause. Okay, I'm doing this because I want to help others, and I'm doing this because I want to be self-fulfilled. So once again, we're seeing the motive. We're seeing beyond just the dream, the longing. We've got the actual clarity. Okay, and then we're seeing the value of that. We're seeing the value of ourselves, the value of creating this dream, this chapter, this energy. And that was beautiful because, once again, our dreams are very healing. They're perfect to help heal our wounds. And that's something you need to keep in mind. As you move forward in your dreams, those wounds are going to open for recognition. So then this energy comes in, a little bit of this heads up energy. You might feel this old feeling of being cursed, like almost like a cursed legacy. They're showing me that. So you're worried that this is going to follow you. So maybe this is your past. Maybe this has been your experience. Maybe this has been your family curse. Always suffer, always struggle. Nothing works out for us in our family line. Whatever this is, maybe that is going to wake up as you start achieving your dream. And you have to once again be very mindful of looking at that and going, no, that is not going to be my experience. And no, that's not going to be my legacy. So they're saying trim the cords, trim those energies that are holding you back, okay? And recognize that this is time for you to break up with long suffering, okay? That's what channeled, break up with long suffering. You don't need to suffer anymore. You don't need to follow that legacy. So release the need for it. It will not find you as long as you don't go looking. And isn't that true? I thought that was so profound. That fear, that suffering is not going to follow you unless you go and try to seek it out. Okay? So keep that in mind. It's over. The past is done. The chapter is closed. Now it's time to move forward. And how we move forward is with clear communication with the divine. So they're really showing me that. Inner travel is needed. So introspection, meditation, going inward, and then communication with the universe of new goals and dreams. So as we get awareness to our new dream, our new chapter, don't forget to communicate that to the universe. So a lot of us have this mistaken view. Oh, the universe gave me this inspiration. Yes, but did you then tell the universe that's what you want? And did you tell the universe and give it permission to help you build it? To help you create it, to help you bring it in. We have to give our guides jobs. I tell people this all the time. You need to assign a job to your guides, your angels, and thank them. Bring gratitude to what they do for you, as well as permission. We all have free will. So you have to give your guides permission to help you with your dream, with your problem, with whatever it is, and let it go. I do it all the time. Thank you for placing your healing hands on this situation and helping me release this burden. Or thank you, angels of abundance, of love, of light, for putting your healing hands on this dream and helping me unveil my true path. Whatever it is you want to say, word it how it works well for you, but don't forget this vital step. The universe wants to be involved. It wants to co-create with you. And we have to let go of this fierce independence where we believe we're doing it all by ourselves. It's not true. The universe will help you. You just need to ask and be very specific in what you're asking for. Okay? Now, what's so cool is what channeled next was evacuation order of all that does not belong. So this is where that energetic purge is taking place. All that doesn't belong, all that doesn't align with your new vibration, it's being swept away. Keeping only what is good and what is true. An energy detox to make way for fresh new energies. How amazing is this? So that's what we're doing. We're purging this energy. We're purging this final energy of what doesn't serve, the fear, the longing, the long suffering, The chasing, snip, snip. We're cutting those cords. We're releasing the need for that to step boldly into this next chapter, this new beginning that 2026 is going to bring. So have the courage to blossom, to open, to achieve through ease and grace, to be in that energy and claim it for yourself now. And release the inner struggle, release the inner battle between the mind and the heart, the ego and the soul. Find that harmonization and set yourself free. So friends, that's all I have for this week. Just imagine what your life is going to look like when you let all that go. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. So here's to you. Here's to this next new year in 2026. And I'm wishing you all the best. Lots of love, my friends. Bye-bye.